films about earthquakes, airplane disasters, and blazing infernos. But there has never been anything like the Devil's Reign. His face.
That wasn't your father.
What's his face?
Mother? Mother! Corbis! Damn you!
They had no faces.
The Devil's Reign. The 300-year search for the power to damn mankind is over.
Fools!
And the towering terror of the devil on earth is now unleashed.
Burn!
Burn! Burn! Burn! Burn! Burn! The Devil's Reign. Hundreds of souls held captive in an eternity of hell.
Seize him!
Possessed by the devil.
You, my son, have defiled all that is holy.
Mother, my God, my God!
They become his worshippers and his demons. Devil's Reign, starring Academy Award winner Ernest Borgnine, Eddie Albert, William Shatner, Keenan Wynn, and Ida Lupino as Mrs. Preston, and with the special participation of Anton LaVey, High Priest of the Church of Satan. The Devil's Reign, conceived by the producer of A Man Called Horse, created by the masters of magic of Planet of the Apes. Together, they bring you a melting hell on Earth, and absolutely the most incredible, unforgettable ending of any motion picture ever. Heaven help us all when the Devil's Reign.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to 31 Days of Monsters. We're at day 27. I'm your host, Graham Nolan, on our 5th year of doing this here on YouTube. What can you say about Devil's Reign other than it has a great poster? This is pure 70s schlock, but it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's a little disturbing when you find out that Anton LaVey is like the high priest of the Church of Satan. You know, first time I saw this, I didn't know that. I didn't know who he was or anything, but I have a hard time watching it now as a result of that. I feel like, when I go to church, Catholic church on Sundays, I'm going to melt or burn because I watched this movie. Ernest Borgnine had said in an interview that this movie was funded by mafia money. And he actually never got paid for his participation in it. Yeah, it was a whole thing. You had this like Satanist cult that was backing it. You had the mafia backing it. But you got to say it's got a great cast of fading stars at the time, but great stars. Eddie Albert, Ida Lupino, rising stars. Keenan Wynn also was in it. Shatner, who was coming off of Star Trek here in 1975, hadn't restarted his career with Star Trek: The Motion Picture in 1979 yet, so he was still 4 years away from that. But he was, churning out some B pictures and TV appearances and all that kind of stuff. And then it is also an early appearance by Tom Skerritt. And it boasts the film debut of John Travolta. Quite an inauspicious debut, huh? How about that? I guess is the wife of Tom Skerritt in this is Joan Prather, and she's the one who introduced John Travolta to Dianetics, which was L. Ron Hubbard's book, and set him on his way to a cult, if you will, of Scientology. Kind of weird, huh? Some great makeup effects in this. The melting is really outstanding. The ending is crazy. This is a much better movie than some of the ones we've seen recently, I have to say. Even though it's a low end B picture, I still found it better than the Dracula movie. What else did we just do recently that I didn't like? Oh, better than Captain Kronos for sure. This thing opens up with the story. You're just jumping right into it. The pouring rain. Shatner comes back. We find out he's looking for his father. We don't know what's going on. And then the father shows up and his face melts, and we're introduced to, the book and all of that. I mean, there's no getting around. This thing jumps right into the story, which is a lot of fun. This is a pretty good 70s schlock film, I have to say. It's not one I'm going to watch all the time. I liked Kingdom of the Spiders better. It's a little lighter in that respect, and also it has more Shatner in it. But Shatner is really good in this. He's always good, in my opinion. So let's find out what you guys thought of The Devil's Reign today. Black Ice is the first one to check in. He says, good morning to Graham and all the fellow guys and ghouls out there. Dr. Mask is here. He says, hail. And he also tells us to sign up for Shanu 77. Yes, sirree. Launching Thursday, 7 p.m. If you've signed up, i.e., now called following, if you've gone to the sign up page and followed the campaign, you'll get a notification at 7 o'clock on Thursday that we are now live. So definitely go do that. Creepy Effects. William Shatner, Ernest Borgnine is a demon. I watched it last year and rated it a 2.5 out of 5. Okay. That's got an average rating then. Like Hickwan is here. Dr. Mass thinks he thought Ernest Borgnine was great as a bad guy. Borgnine's one of those guys where he can really do just about anything. He can be the fun-loving, funny, nice guy like in McHale's Navy, but he can also be a real mean son of a bitch like in Peck and Paw's The Wild Bunch. And in here, he's obviously very evil. You get that look with those eyebrows of his of anger and evil, but then there's a malevolent smile as well. He's very, very good in everything I see him in. Rob Fellows is here. Hail Graham and the Sons of Shatner. We got a first timer who has made it. James YG Goy. YG Goy has made it live. Welcome, welcome. Just in time. We're on day 27 of 31. Glad you could make it. Dr. Mass says just Shatner being in it has to be worth 2 stars. I agree. I love that guy. Chris Juliano is here. He says ahoy, or hey everyone. Past Master Dan said ahoy to Leg Kick One. We need to have narrators on all movie trailers. It's so funny. You're in trouble when they're extolling all the virtues of the producers and directors and the makeup guys. This is the guy who brought you Planet of the Apes. The producers that gave you The Man Called Horse, Academy Award winner Ernest Borgnine. And then you get The Devil's Reign. Chris Juliano didn't do his homework. This is the one with Ernest Borgnine? Yes. Rob has a quote. Who calls me from the pit? Deliver us a soul, say the Satanists. I just couldn't watch it knowing LaVey was in it. Yeah, as I said, I didn't know who that guy was or what his connection was when I first saw it. I didn't know LaVey was involved. Good marketing, though. Yeah, if you're trying to get the devil cultists to go to the movies. King Kong vs. Godzilla 1962, only on YouTube with subtitles. Oh, so they have the Japanese version on YouTube? I've been looking for that. I was talking to Joe Jusko yesterday that I'd like to get that in the Japanese version. The ending's the same, but I think there's some editing differences, and I always like to hear the actors' real voices too. So I may have to watch that actually on YouTube. I have the Blu-ray, the US Blu-ray version, which is nice, but I'd really like to see the Japanese version. I watched the Japanese version of Rodan earlier this week. There's always little differences, particularly in the editing and pacing. Sometimes they take scenes out of order and reposition them so it creates a different kind of story. They did that extensively in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it makes it a very different story than the Japanese Gojira. Carruthers Druthers. Hail chat. Hail Graham Nolan. Hail Carruthers Druthers. Chris Juliano needs more Shatner. Who doesn't? Small Tiny Friends 1722 cannot wait for Thursday. Thank you. Me either. I'm anxious to get this one launched. I was going to launch it a week ago, but Billy got pushed back, so I pushed mine back another week so that we didn't collide together. Soap Maker Handle is here. He says, hey, Graham. Hello, Soap Maker. Nice to see you. Rick1662 says, great cast. Yeah, Ernest Borgnine was a Masonic brother. That's interesting. I saw him on, what's the Fox Morning Show? Well, regardless, he was on there one time a few years before he died. He was 90, 92. And the girl host says to him, what's your secret for old age? And without a filter or out skipping a beat, he goes, I masturbate every day. And she was like, I remember seeing that and laughing my ass off. It's like, oh yeah, you go, Ernest. Growing up in the 70s, it seemed like Borgnine was in everything. He was everywhere. One of those ubiquitous guys. James says his live show watching is for the first time this year. You have to switch on the... Oh, okay. Talking about the Godzilla versus King Kong. Or King Kong versus Godzilla on YouTube. The real question is, can I be backer one, finally, on one of Nolan's campaigns? I have faith in you, Dr. Mask. I know you can do it. You should go to the page, the follow page, and as soon as the clock hits 7 o'clock, refresh it immediately, and then bam. Don't forget the first 100 people get front of the line shipping too on that campaign. So be the first 100. No, Rick, they won't let us have addresses for the followings anymore. That's part of their change. once it launches and you back it, then we have your addresses. So, but I can't attach a secret address or perk capture for you the way we used to do it before. It's not available anymore. So that's why it still is important to follow it, as it's called now, signing up following. So you're alerted to when it goes live. But so what I had to do is make the first 100 backers the ones who get the front of the line shipping. So it's out of my control. I can't do anything about it. It's just their new format. So it encourages people that want to back it to do it early and, get in there first. Missed War of the Worlds, but did watch it again for the umpteenth time. Always 10 of 10. Now I've got to get me the 4K. Rob, I got the 4K yesterday. I get a lot of my movies through Fandango, so I keep them up in the cloud. If I bought the 4K, disc, it would have been like, I don't know, $20, something like that. But by getting the 4K on Fandango, it was like $7.99, $8.99, something like that. So I bought it that way, and I immediately scrolled over to the scenes, and yeah, sure shooting. The wires have been removed. The color looks friggin' amazing. The contrast of the shadows look great. It's definitely worth it. Whether you get the hard, obviously, if you have the 4K Blu-ray and you're playing it on a 4K player with a 4K TV, it'll look better than my digital copy of 4K. But it looks amazing. Dr. Matt says, I will say after the changes on Indigo, I was able to log right in after having all kinds of problems weeks prior. Okay, that's good to know. People that have been commenting since Billy has launched have been basically extolling the praises of the new format. And as I said yesterday, one of the really great things is financing. If you back a high value perk level or you get a bunch of stuff and that value goes up to a high level, you can finance it. If the person creating the campaign, clicks that button, which I have, by the way. So that's great. So, you've got a couple months to pay it off. So it's not a big thing on your wallet. So I think that's a great idea. Marcus says, yeah, I was able to back Billy last week. Excellent. Excellent. Much appreciated. I'm sure Billy appreciates it too. Let's see if there's any other notes that I had about this movie. I think I covered just about everything. Tomorrow is King Kong versus Godzilla, one of my favorite of the Godzilla movies as a kid. It's possible I might have a guest tomorrow. I'm still waiting for confirmation. And there's a possibility there might be 2 guests tomorrow. We shall see. But you guys have your assignments. I'm glad you mentioned that about that it's on YouTube. So I'm going to check that out first and see if I like that. If I don't, then I'll just switch over to my US Blu-ray version and catch that for tomorrow. Then we've got a couple kaiju movies in a row. We got King Kong vs. Godzilla, then Rodan, and then the Giant Claw, which technically it's not Japanese, but it is a giant monster. And then we close out on Halloween with the greatest Universal monster of all, 1931's Frankenstein. So I can't believe we are this far along and then it's gone by this fast, guys. It goes by too quick. But what we'll do is after Halloween, sometime in November, maybe the first week in November, we'll do a follow-up show, a post-Halloween show, and go over some movies, maybe do a watch party, something like that to keep the spirit alive. So I always appreciate everybody that comes in here. I got a few more things here just to cover before we say our final goodbyes. War of the Worlds Criterion Collection Blu-ray is really good. If it's not the 4K restoration, then it ain't as good. I can tell you that right now. The 4K restoration is nothing short of amazing. It looks like a new movie. Get Lopez. He hates Godzilla. Yeah, and Abbott and Costello, too. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I don't know why he's even a friend anymore. Borgnine was terrifying in that railway movie with Lee Marvin. Something North Star. Oh, Emperor of the North. Yeah. Excellent. Like I said, he can play very intense, evil people. Dr. Mass says, yeah, crazy fast. How fast it's gone. Rodan is on Marcus Kelligru's 60th birthday. Wow. Excellent. Rodan's a good one. Watch party for the original thing. Yeah, you see, the problem with doing a watch party like that is, and you can do it, you can use third-party streaming things and do that. But everybody who's going to be in the watch party has to have a subscription to the streaming service that's being used. So if let's say I stream it on Prime, okay, and I use the third-party streaming app to send you guys the link, that means you have to be signed in and have a subscription to Prime to do it. I think most people have Prime, but I think I would love to do a really good movie, not just some, crappy public domain film. So I'm looking into that. But I'll give you guys a heads up about, the movie and the streaming service to make sure we got, everybody signed up for it. So, all right, my friends, we will see you tomorrow for King Kong vs. Godzilla classic. Until then, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.